What's up, motherfuckers? Yesterday, in the fourth day of the challenge of reach 20 rating on CSGO, I played 5 games and winning 5 points of rating. So I'm going to show us my best game. Well, not my best game, but maybe my most interesting game that I played yesterday. Uh, After 4 games that I didn't play great games, I just decided to try to create something with Kings Indian to can have a good video. Apart of try to increase my rating, but I just tried to can have a good game to make a video. So for that reason I chose to play the Kings Indian that I not used to play. 93, here is 37. I sometimes I make some Nynthos or semi-slav with D5, but I not used to play Kings Indian. G6, 93, but okay, I know a little bit of course. I play like 7 years ago, but okay, not so much of course. D6, H3. That's the line that I used to play with white, so in this specific position I have a little bit more ideas than in others. Sargasso, bishop b3. Here I choose e5, that's my favorite move here. c5 I don't like so much because, okay, white can play d5, completely possible, but knight f3 just enter in a Malossic structure. But I don't like this type of position with black. Specifically this position I don't like with black. But once I lost this position with white, like 4 years ago, e5, d5, and here black pawn was placed the knight on c5 followed by a5. I chose knight a5, sorry, I chose first knight a6 because if I play a5, here white have knight e2, knight a6, d4, and after knight c5, white can place the knight on g3 and the pawn on d4, which is what white wants, sorry. For that reason I play knight a6 because now black have no time of white have no time sorry to place the pawn on c4 and the knight on g3 because I'm deadly attacking e4. No, and here white should play f3, but and then make all this plan or queen c2, something like this. I have one game in the World Rapid Championship under 20 that I play in Peru, so I need to give us the link of the game if you want to watch. 96. Okay, 96, sorry. And my opponent, instead of playing with 92 that I used to play with black with white, he he chose knight f3. The idea of knight f3 is just play 92, defending the e4 pawn. And here is ready to change the mind and now goes with knight h5. Forget of the plan of knight c5 and try to make a different plan after the knight landed on f3. Here my following move was just f5. For example, a3, trying to play before and projected the knight to c5, f5, taking space here. e4, and here knight b8 was good because now the knight is not making nothing on e6 after a3 before, so now the knight should go to d7, and king h8 was the other possibility here. So knight h5 was the best. I play knight c5, knight d2, and here again the best way to play was just break on f5, knight a8, and followed by f5. Okay, I play a5, logical move, trying to maintain the knight on c5, giving stability and stopping before. Before normal c6, trying to break the center, bishop e2, and here I made the incorrect plan. I have the great move a4, followed by queen a5, and then a3. That's the best way to find counterplay in the queen side. And if h4, just queen a5, and now black is fine. Now a3 is coming. Against the a4s, when I play with the knight on g3 against the a4s, you always have the move queen d2, defending the knight, and then attacking. Sorry. But with the knight on d2 was more complicated to defend against the a4 ideas. So for that reason, a4 here was the best. I play bishop d7, h4, and here I become completely crazy and I start to sacrifice pawns. Which is not the best, but okay, it's a rapid game, it's a blitz game, and I just want to attack and break the center. So sometimes blitz just attack and try to play active, doesn't matter the material. And here was better to sacrifice in this way, with take on d5, a5, and here again a4 was good, followed by queen a5, and b5 was the possibility, sacrificing this pawn. Because if black takes here, and b5, you now the g4 pawn is hanging. f3 bishop h5, and okay, this is an option to play with black. Instead of that, I chose d5, which is bad because g5. And here, of course, before is not possible. Well, it's possible, but the black position is hopeless here. And knight h5, okay, can be just followed by d takes c6 and then play on b5. The problem of his move d takes c6 is that I can just play before instead of capture on c6. And if he take here, take, and knight takes f7, and white have these bad double pawns on c3 and c4. This bishop is blockaded by this pawn, so now here black is fine here. Instead of that, I missed the move before to be into. I didn't see this move, but I just tried to play in a way in active way, sacrificing the e5 pawn, so take e5. Here, okay, the machine prefer take on e4, but but during the game I thought that here I was. That who is true, but after knight c5, if he takes the rook, queen takes a8, and I have many counterplay for the exchange. Of course, it's not obligated for white to take the rook, but if it's the idea of bishop f3, of course, pin the knight to take the rook. But instead of that, I decided to just sacrifice the pawn and try to play active in the center, and then defend the c5 knight and break on d5. And now I'm threatening take on e4, so but white just defend, taking the knight and playing g5. I just in my knight and he said that I have a horrible bishop on g7 after the knight this knight moves. This bishop is not attacking e4, so it's not attacking e4, so I have all the pieces but place and para animal pawn down. My opponent's plays f3. Here 96 was better. You are not allowing your opponents to take on c5 and covering d4, covering f4, threatening d5. So this move was so interesting. I played rook c8. Yes, my idea was simply defend the c5 knight and prepare d5. I just want to break in the center with d5. Here again, my opponents will have played d5 and obligated to me to go to the corner with the knight. But instead of that, he played knight c4. And here, finally, for the first time in the game, I have a good position. d5. Just I finally make my goal and break the center. And okay, I'm good in this position because the white king is open. It's in the center and it's open. The king have no safe squares. I have my both bishops in in the long diagonal. My knights are a good place. I have the rook in the open file. So now I finally managed to create counterplay in the center. And white only have a stupid pawn. Okay, again, g5 was good, but here I have this idea, knight takes d4. I never should go to the fucking h5 square. 95, take, and here I made a great move instead of just take on d5. I just still playing active, open the center, and open the bishop and open the d5. So that's the way that you should play in the King's Indian, always active, not just take pawn. No, play active. Doesn't matter the e5 pawn. e4, king f2. Here was better to just take on d5. It's not about only take a pawn, it's an active move, of course. But I choose rook e8. Well, of course, rook e8 was good too. Means I'm putting many pressure on the open file. But bishop d5 was slightly better here. Rook e8, here the only way white response to try to hold the game was rook c1. The rest of response, black is just winning. For rook c1, I just can take, and rook 94, and black is better here. f4, and again, I was thinking about take on d5. So, okay, was a possibility, but I played the most active move, 93. Open more lines. Now I open the file, the c5, and after bishop takes, other file is open, and sorry, other file is open, and this diagonal is open too, after the e4 pawn disappeared. So now I have all the lines open. After queen d3, I just can take here, and let's see, specifically the important difference of the position is the rooks. The rooks are on, sorry, my rooks are on two open files, and his both rooks are on the initial square. My king is safe. His king is unsafe. The safety of the kings is a typical theme in many games. But who just decided only about the safety of the kings. And of course, my latest square bishop to cover all the latest squares. So he just tried to play 92, but now I enter in black hand with queen d5, 93. Here I have many ways to win the game, but maybe I choose the best. Rook c2, bishop d2, and then when rooks exchange sacrifice, queen takes queen f3, bishop d4, checkmate. White should play queen f2 and queen f takes f2, checkmate. That's a really funny game. Not the most precise because in the opening I made many mistakes. I had a losing position many times. But to be a blitz was not bad and was a funny game specifically to cancel with us in YouTube. In the previous game of the fourth day of the challenge, I'm playing more precisely game, but that's not so funny to say. But that's my favorite game. I play this type of position with white. I have one game in the World Chess Champion if you want to watch. So let's see if tomorrow I still increasing my rating and I finally reach 28 in Chess.com. Bye bye, motherfuckers.